Hello everybody and welcome back to the labs. I am Tousty and thank you for joining me here on another episode of ResonantRise. Guys, I got a lot to talk to you about and I'm not sure what the most entertaining way for me to do that is, so I'm going to try and do some of it real quick here and then the rest of it throughout the episode. It's been about a week and a half since I last recorded. Well, that's not actually true. I've recorded quite a bit. And a lot has happened since I recorded, but a bunch of stuff kept getting in the way. The episode that I was recording was about 35 minutes long. It was spread out over about a week and a half, and it was just a mess that we'd gone through updates where I did a bunch of stuff in the episode where everything was broken, and then ResonantRise had an update and it's all fixed. So then I started to sort of backtrack. I was like, all right, we're going to try this again, and now it's all fixed, and then it's been a mess. Piled on top of all that, I was having some horrible latency issues with my server. Not with the server, with my connection to the server. Other people are on it, they're fine. It's just me. Like, I think I took a screenshot at one point, and I literally had about 96,000 milliseconds of latency between me and the server, and I wasn't sure what was causing it. Turns out it was a bit of a glitch with my network cable, Optifine possibly, and a few other things. Hopefully it's solved for the most part now, but we're going to play around, try and get an episode in here today that's not going to drive us all crazy from from latency problems. It is night, it is raining, and a lot has happened in the server. Not the least of which you can see I've been doing a lot of building. So, oh wow, look at that thunderstorm. Our original concept for this base was, the Reclaimers and I, to build this kind of dome city, and that is still happening. First, this is the size of the first dome here. These blocks are all from Z-Tones, which is a really cool aesthetic mod, and if I do building on camera, you'll see a lot of it. It's really awesome. Check it out. It's an optional mod in the ResonantRise 3 pack. We are on ResonantRise 3.2.1. With this update came a massive overhaul to the RF API, so a lot of mods have had some large updates, huge updates to Thaumic, lots of stuff happening, and possibly even the Eldritch Dungeon, though I'm not really sure if that's in this yet. First thing to notice about Buildcraft that I did want to point out really quick. Where is the new wand focus upgrade system is in it. So I have a couple kinds here. I've been playing around with different things. Basically, let's go ahead and upgrade one of these focuses so you guys can see what's going on. Right now you can see that some of these are enchanted. As soon as I take them out of the pack, they are no longer enchanted because as of this version of Thaumic, they're not enchantable. You upgrade them a different way. So let's take our fire focus out. You see it's not enchanted anymore, and come over here to the focal manipulator. I've also moved my NEI to the top left. Hope you guys don't mind. It just bugs me when NEI and my Wayla, when my Wayla gets kind of in the way of things. So hope you don't mind. All right, so here you go. You take your focus, you put it in here. You get 5 upgrades, and then you pick one, frugal or potency. For this one, I'm going to take potency. I don't use this very much. I just want this to be a really powerful mod, and you click go. It takes a few of your experience levels, and then it takes all of these aspects, and these aspects come from your node. I was trying to do a bit of work protecting this area just to make sure that as more people got on, this lever didn't get turned off, because when the nodes destabilize, they do have issues and they tend to fade out and die. So I started to ward it all. If we take our wand of warding here, we'll see, I'm getting a bit of lag right now, there that you can have, or you see the this whole area is warded. Now the problem was the only block I really wanted warded was that stone brick there. But what the problem with that is the redstone signal won't go through the warding. So that's kind of annoying. And this is really picky as to how it gets a redstone signal, or at least it was before it was updated. All right. So it ended up breaking the node. I had to rebuild it, so I put all this warding up just for kicks. And so we got a few things going on that it took me a long time to rebuild that, and my frame rate right now is something special, isn't it? I'll play with that. Actually, you know what? That might be... I did just redo this, so let's just... Where is it? There it is. Let's turn you off for a second. I'm going to get a massive frame rate spike or lag, so I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. So, yeah, that happened. And then on top of all that, you know, we just had some few bugs. I've done some changes to the server. The Erebus is working now, so we're going to check that out for sure. We've added Forge Essentials. We got Joe Schmo with us, who's a new member of the server. Been talking to him a little bit on TeamSpeak, and we got an IRC thing set up here. So the server is growing, and that's great. We're having a lot of fun. The server's running real well, and I'm having a blast. As soon as I can get my computer bugs worked out, I'll be happy. All right, so here's the next system. Every time you add one of these upgrades, something else can happen. It's not guaranteed, but something else may happen. So this is the Alchemist's Fire. This increases the potency of the elemental fire in the focus. Any target set alight will burn for much longer. That sounds pretty cool, not gonna lie. So let's throw that on there. I'm gonna get a little low on XP now. So as you can see, this color is changing as it's using that type of Essentia or V, excuse me, and as it finishes, it'll go down. So this node is actually similar to the one that I had before. I know it looks like it's fading. It's not fading though, it's fine. I think. Yeah, it's just energized. And so it's very similar to the one that I had before. It's got a little bit more Terra in it and a little bit more air, and I think a couple others have come down a bit. But the way that these nodes work is however much energy you have in them. So say you have 49 of Aqua, Perdido, Ordo, Ignis, Terra, and Air in your regular node before you energize it. You get the square root of that. So you kind of have 7 across the board. And that's what I was going for, but I just got impatient and I started to run out of V in my wands and my batteries and things like that. So I just had to energize it as it was, unfortunately. All right, this guy's done. What do we got now? We got Fireball and Fire Beam. I want to try both of these, so I actually think I'll make another fire thing eventually. But for right now, I don't know what to pick. The focus will now produce an explosive ball of fire you can hurl at your foes. Let's take a little pull here. Fireball or Fire Beam. Let's see what he says, then we'll come back and start that. Joe's online, but I think he's AFK. The Wolf is hanging out with us as well. And I think I'm going to start recording with TeamSpeak on every once in a while just to change things up a little bit if I do build projects and stuff like that. This is a super bugged out texture for some reason all of a sudden. That's very interesting. The RF Tools mod has been updated. I had to pick, or I had to remove it and re-add it. So I lost a bunch of my dimlets, even though I was finally able to research them and everything. I'm getting some weird texture derps, but that's okay. So we're going to work on that a little bit as well. I think maybe at the end of this episode, if not next episode. All right. Wolf says beam. Let's do it. So you won't know what's going on. I'll explain that later. So that's happening. What else have we done other than that? We had built a large structure here for a storage building to set up our ME storage building. I'm going to have to wait on that. I messed up the structure a little bit. A few things dimensionally were wrong, and eventually I just had to tear it down. Unfortunately, I used the filler from Buildcraft to tear it down, and just for server's sake, it is by default set to not drop the items that it breaks, and I lost about a stack and a half of the vibrant conduits from energy conduits from Ender.io, a bunch of facades, and to be honest, about 1,000 stacks of quartz. But that I will explain when I rebuild it. Ooh. So we got the fire beam. I'm going to go on a limb and say it can't be ball and beam. Oh no, that's the fire one again. So let's just increase the potency of this. We need a few more levels. And the bigger your node, the faster that will work. There we go. Oh, I'm so glad that my latency is keeping up here. One thing that I had a lot of problem on this server from the get-go is actually teleporting. Whenever I go to a new dimension, whenever I have to teleport between that world, like the mining dimension, when I had these little teleporters set up from RF Tools, it just never went that well. I always fell through the floor, always falling through the ground when I log in, stuff like that. Stuff that I've seen on servers before, but was really, really bad on this server in particular. See, this goes quite a bit faster than my last node because I have more Terra, and that's like a bottleneck for a lot of it. And so one thing that was causing the problem with that was, what do you call it? Optifine. And so Joe figured that out for me, sent me some config settings to play with, and it worked really well. So this is the shape of the dome that we're looking at. These are going to be kind of the corners. I got to get Reclaimer on to see how this looks before I finish it, though, because I don't know. He had some big plans for this. And so I've got to see what's going on there. I might send him a message in a bit here and see if I can get him on to check it out and maybe approve some building. What the? Some building problems. So one thing that happened when the server updated, the Thaumic 4 update had a disclaimer on it that it would reset your research. So it doesn't reset your knowledge, but everything that you have scanned already appears to be unscanned, which is good and bad. It's bad because, you know, you don't know what aspects are in everything anymore, but you do know what all the aspects are. Like, it's not like you lost that and didn't end up with a bunch of question marks in here. What it means, though, is I get to rescan everything and add bonuses to my table if I want to do more research and stuff like that. But we're going to sort of shy away from the magical mods a little bit because I want to do some tech work. But as soon as we're done upgrading our focus, we'll work on some of that. These here are from Advanced Repulsion Systems. I don't have a clue how to break these guys. So they're stuck there now. And that nether portal will have to stay. Got a bit of tainted ground here. I wonder if that's what these are doing. It's a little strange. And a little concerning. In building this node, or in this dome, I actually have found... Oh, here's some. Taint. And I have no idea where it's coming from or why it's coming from. And I've tried just breaking it, but it seems to be a partially tainted biome. So I've made myself a bunch of... I've had to break a lot of nodes. And killed some wisps. I've made myself a bunch of ethereal blooms or blossoms or whatever these guys are called. These should help with the taint problem. If I can get them to plant somewhere before I die. Alright. Just pick up some of this. So I'm not entirely certain on what stage I was at during the last episode of recording. I'm just going to oversaturate this place in these things. Oh yeah, you can really tell their area of effect now. That's awesome. I may have still been using the Thaumic tools, but I've had to upgrade them, change them a little bit. And so now we're using the Ender IO tools, and I've got actually some dimensional transceivers set up in my base now, so I can just hop to them. And the nice thing about the transceivers now is you can actually paint them in the painting machine from Ender IO, so you don't even have to look at them, and that's awesome. Another thing that's changed in the update is Applied Energistics was updated. I'm not going to go over all the updates. I just couldn't possibly do it. Applied Energistics is updated to the newer versions that have upgradable inscribers. So we're going to be making some of those, which reminds me I got to throw some silicon in there. Interesting. All right, and then I got to mix some more silicon, which I haven't really been doing in the most efficient way. I should probably look at getting a silicon factory up and running, especially as my next goal really for AE is to build a nice place to house some storage systems. So I'm not sure how much the peer-to-peer stuff has changed in this version of AE. We'll see. Oh, the lags. The lag is real right now. I reinstalled Optifine, and it's actually changed a lot for me. And so I am really sorry about how much I'm talking about it and about my frame rate in general. But we will persist. It's actually like... It's only in certain areas, which I find interesting. I'm wondering if it has something to do with all these slopes. I mean, I know that carpenters do cause lag, but shouldn't be that much. Should not be that much. Oh yeah, my note. I was trying to remember what I was doing. So let's check out this. Yes, good timing. I got one more left. I'm actually going to throw a potency on here again. We're probably going to burn through some power, but I don't use that much Ignis. I do need 40 levels though. Okay. I have turned, or I had turned off my mob spawner in the nether, and I think I'm going to go turn that back on, because the reason I had turned it off was that with primitive mobs, or sorry, not primitive mobs, with infernal mobs, they have a tendency to drop a lot more enchanted items, like ridiculous amounts of enchanted items. Enchanted books, enchanted armor, and I had been purging a lot of it from my system, but I just couldn't keep up with the current channels that I had. Boom, we'll let that finish up, and then we're going to go blast some stuff. With, yeah, the current channels that I had, it just wasn't working. So, unfortunately, I have had to actually remove infernal mobs. It's not really that big of a deal. I mean, it's so hard to play with. I emptied out my smeltery, that's what all this is. This section goes to what was the underground of our future storage drive area, but it's probably gonna have to change. In fact, I might just build it down here, to be honest. I don't know how I'm gonna want to do that yet. I'll have to move it eventually anyways, so we'll see. Let's just throw some of these in here. I've done a lot of exploring and different things. I'll probably go and show you Joe's base at some point. I don't rightly remember where he is building. He has recently moved. I can't be way over here. That was where I was exploring. I believe Wolf is going to build an underwater base just over here, and that would leave Joe actually in like a volcano-y area over here. This here is a really, really nice Eldritch altar, and there's also one here. So I'm really, I'm really excited to try this Eldritch stuff out again. Found some more Crimson Folk, and I'm going to create a small mob spawner of them. I have created a mob spawner in my warded room there. I got to finish that project. But today is very much just an updated and chatty kind of like, let's see what's been going on episode. So I'll work on that a bit off camera because I'm not sure I have everything I need to finish that project. And I need to do a bit of terraforming in here. One thing that I did is I have this excavation focus, which you can see has frugal, enlarge 2, potency, and silk touch. So if I dig, let's not dig right there. Let's dig in here where I've been digging. It actually breaks an interesting area. Seems to be somewhat random and just kind of odd. So I'm not sure I like it, but it's quick and it gives me silk touch, which is what I really wanted. I really wanted silk touch. I might make one that's just straight and large and not silk touch and just see what happens if I put as much of the enlargement on it as I can. What are you doing here, buddy? I've got a wand focus with lightning, with shock, which has frugal, potency, and chain lightning, which means the lightning now zaps. It jumps from enemy to enemy, but it does this sort of like weird sort of pseudo burst fire thing. I'm not clicking it, that's just holding it down. So really bizarre. Not sure how I feel about that. But when there are mobs, like small clusters of mobs, it's amazing. A little uncontrollable when you're near your friends though, so be careful. For sure. So that is that. I'm hoping that, what do you call it? Enhanced Portals is actually going to work for us a bit better. That would be really, really nice. Joe is good with ComputerCraft and things, so he may be able to get us a ComputerCraft program to have a nice portal nexus, and that would be awesome. So right here we have a conductor mast, and I wanted to show this to you guys. I was really confused about this. That's why it's over here. The conductor mast builds up energy based on redstone signal, so you got to give it a redstone signal and it just kind of starts doing its thing. This was a new block from Calculator. Calculator was updated as well. And it makes things. It makes scientific calculator now and the electric diamond. So you have to have this. It's not that expensive. Right? You just need a couple energy modules and a fire diamond and an atomic calculator. So it's not that bad. So The thing is, it's very slow, but this is something that I'm going to have to learn a bit more about, but this is a new block from Conductor. If you're looking at making that from the new electric diamond, this is what you need. You just got to put it in and give it a redstone signal and wait. That took me a while to figure out. So I'm going to try and track down a little bit of what's causing my frame rate lag while I wait for this to finish. It's still got a good bit left, and then we'll come back and test it out. Well, you can see here that we're getting closer to the end of this process, and what is slowing it down is the production of aqua. That's because the lowest number on my node is, in fact, aqua. Right, so we got 4. Actually, it's not the lowest, it's tied for the lowest. But for some reason, this had a larger amount of aqua in it, which means that it's got the most it needs from it, and it has one of my lower amounts. So the higher you can get these numbers over here, which means the higher the number you start with, the better. You always end up with the square root of the original node. So try and make a really big stable node before you go to town on that thing. Oh, hello. What have we here? See? Got lots of these things now. It's ridiculous. I should just start pumping half of those through the system. Try and keep the primal aspects in my infusion system up. All right, we got 17 centivi left. So our FPS, as you can see, is not great still. Some of it has to do with that running. For some reason, it just doesn't make my game very happy. But that's okay. One thing I was trying to do is figure out a nice way to clear out a larger area of land without using the filler. I'd like just a tool to do kind of 3x3. And I know the Tinker's Hammer, and there's other options that have that. I wanted to find like a different alternative or something like that. So I've been playing with the enchantments from Osmotic Enchanter. So far, most of the enchantments from this mod have broken the game. Like they've crashed the server or they've crashed me. So I'm not really sure what kind. I might just have to do it with like a diamond or a thaumium pick. Let's try it with a thaumium pick. I bet that would work fine. And I don't know if we did it before the updates because I didn't try this, but I've done a lot of the Thaumic Tinkerer research for the enchantments and things like that. So I'm not really a huge percent sure as to what would cause it per se. The crashes, like it is have to do with the different items that you try to enchant. I did try and enchant this. It obviously didn't go so well. You win some, you lose some. But I tried to do the electric diamond pick or an end diamond pick. I don't remember which I tried from Calculator. Neither of them worked very well. It actually all crashed. This crashed the client. The electric diamond one crashed the game or the server. And the server reboots right away. It comes back and it's fine. So I don't really know what the deal is with that. But all the same, we got a bit of work to do here. And I just wanted to show off this this new focus upgrade system. It's really, really cool. So here we go. Let's try this out. Awesome. So that's the new line of magic that it fires. Oh, that looks amazing. Got a bit of an arc to it, it looks like almost. Will it set trees on fire? Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Just chop that down so it doesn't go crazy on us. Whew. Get rid of all these. All right, let's try this. This is going to be dangerous in this forest. Oh boy. Oh boy. So you know what? I would probably do that again and not put the one that makes it light the world on fire. Because that is really, really, really dangerous. That's ridiculously dangerous. I could burn down this whole forest. I would totally do that again and maybe not have on it the alchemist's fire. Just put beam and potency like out the wazoo. And then maybe even that orb one. Or pick one or the other that you would prefer to not have on fire. That's really cool though. I love that effect. That's a really nice looking GUI. Or GUI. A really nice looking graphic effect. That's really, really cool. It does I don't actually know how much capacity I had in this to begin with. I know it holds 250, but I had a bug when my amulets my baubles got deleted, and so I had to put them in, and I still haven't AFK'd to let it like fully recharge, and you really kind of need to. It'll stay fairly recharged, you know, as long as I'm working around my base, but I got to keep it like fully recharged just to get it there once, so that's all right. So that's cool. That's the new focus manipulation system. Give me a few minutes. Let me work on a couple things, and then I'll be back, and we will look at a couple of mods. All right, guys. One of the things that I started on the last episode and then couldn't really finish was this custom dimension system from RF Tools. Well, it has been updated, and now we have the opportunity to delete it. Delete it? You do it. Let's see here. So in RF Tools, there is a machine called the Dimlet Research something. Dimlet Researcher. Here we go. I need one of them. Poop. Where is it? All right, so let's get this going downstairs here. Now, you can see that this is getting very cluttered. It's because I don't really have a clue what I'm doing, but here we go. I'm going to get a chest. Oh, I need a bigger chest than that. Come on. So let's get some iron around this guy. And let's grab a hopper. And let's get some gold, which I don't have a lot of, to be honest. But I did make a bunch of gold essence using the time torches and my friend Ender.io. All right, let's do this. Now, the reason I'm doing this... Oh, poop. I didn't want that to happen. Is because these are individual stacks. So, excuse me. Sorry about that. I had to sneeze. When it researches them, it leaves them as an individual item, and they don't stack. So I'm going to do this, like so. And then we'll throw this on here, and this on here, and this on here. And these are all just found in dungeon chests. All right, let's do this. And let's just pull it out of here. Because why not? These are kind of like pages from Miscraft, if you're familiar with Miscraft. As far as I can tell, these are attributes that you give to a dimension or a biome or something like that when you make them. So RF Tools will research these. And it does not appear to take inventories in. That's interesting, at least not from the top. So that's fine, we'll add them manually. So we'll do about 16 of these guys, no problem. And it's pretty quick if you can keep it good with power. So if we look, I've got two buttons here, two things here. I have the dimensional builder, and I don't rightly know what goes in this other than power. And I have the dimensional inscriber. So if I had to guess, again, I'm just guessing here. I haven't done this before. There's probably a plate or something that I put into the inscriber with the dimlets that I want, and I make my age. There's a dimensional monitor. That's interesting. Let's see here. Where would you think? Oh, they have their own ore. That's interesting. There is a manual, and I have made this before, and I'm wondering if it's been updated. All right, let's do this. So, yeah. Realized dimension tab, unrealized dimension tab. This is probably what we're looking for here. Let's just turn off that debug settings. So there we go. That's better. And let's get our dimensional tab. I'm just guessing again. Dimension tab. Boom. Let's make one of them. Okay, and I'm gonna go on a limb and say this goes here. It does seem so, doesn't it? All right, what do we have so far? Let's put the rest of these in here before we start to investigate. We got a Biome More dimlet, a liquid molten platinum dimlet. That's awesome. Copper, liquid sodalite, liquid poison, liquid silicon dioxide, liquid ytterbium, terrain normal dimlet. We're probably going to want something like that. Feature none dimlet, biome enchanted forest, biome forest hills, biome flower forest, liquid tyrosine, biome stone beach, liquid argon, digit 4 dimlet. What the heck does that do, I wonder? Boneyard, purifying fluid, Alps. That's interesting. Highlands, I might want that almost for sure. Liquid aspartame, liquid DNA, that's awesome. Liquid asbestos, biome arctic, sky bright night dimlet. Let's take a look at what that does. The crag dimlet, I do like crags. Feature lakes dimlet, biome thornlands, ulterior outback, liquid glutamine, liquid prylamine, liquid molten promethium dimlet, liquid iron oxide dimlet, neptunium, fermium, molten gold, zirconium, titanium, biome mushroom forest, biome mountain dimlet, liquid terrain island dimlet. That's interesting too. All right, let's just see what our last few are, and then we may have to do a bit of research. Oh no, I sorted them, didn't I? Shoot. Terrain normal, terrain island. Let's get this. So we got Stone Beach, Arctic, Crag, Moor, Mountain, Alps, Boneyard, Mushroom Flower, Enchanted Forest, Thorns, Ulterior Outback, Digit 3, Digit 4. All right, and then we've got Molten Platinum. Now, if I had to guess, that would come in handy. There's another one. I wanted to look up real quick, Silicon. One of the mods that we have in this pack is Minechem. Now, Minechem allows you to melt down items into their base elements. And I'm wondering what silicon dioxide could be used for. I mean, obviously it makes silicon and oxygen. Create dirt. You can help create obsidian and gravel. Obsidian dust. Glass. Amethyst. Now that's interesting, because calculator amethyst is kind of annoying to get. Actually, it's not that bad at all. Stained glass. A lot of stained glass. Dirty obsidian if I add it with magnesium. Sand. Smooth sand. All these different kinds of sand. Quartz glass. Panes. More obsidian stuff. It's pretty much... Oh, it can create quartz if I add it with gallium. Interesting. So that's pretty cool. I think I would prefer molten platinum, to be honest. Where was that at? Let's try this. Again, I don't have any idea what sort of system or restrictions are going to be in place. If there is like an instability type system like Mistcraft has. I need that actually. Poop. Let's just get some rotten flesh back. I keep forgetting that I need that. Let's go up here. Terrain normal, biome highland, sky bright night, and liquid molten titanium. Let's call this test 1, or let's call this titanium highlands. All right, we got a dimension here. It'll cost us 2400 RF to create and 12 RF per tick to use. Now, we shouldn't have any problems with that kind of power. Okay, so this is going to be our 2400 RF to create. That's really cool. And then what? Do I just click on this and it takes me there? Oh man, this is exciting. Doom, 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 do, do, doom. All right, so as long as this is in here, I'm thinking we should be okay on power. It says it's 44 RF per tick. It's 12 RF per tick for that. What is happening to this, I wonder? Now, something I'm probably going to want to bring with me before I go, let's just go look at our energy system here. I don't know what is its deal. This is producing over 10,000 RF per tick, and this one probably is as well. And it's losing power. What the hey? I don't have a lot of time to do this. Oh, no. That does seem somewhat bugged. I'm going to take that out, actually. Sorry about that, guys. So these things actually hold power. That might be why. All right, let's just look for dimensional stuff. Let's go RF tools and just look at these blocks really quick. Dimwit Scrambler. Wonder what that does. All right. While we're letting this, so this will actually just take a maximum. Okay, awesome. It stopped. I was wondering about that. The numbers on this generation is actually somewhat skewed because I put here a vibrant capacitor bank, which will accept up to 25,000 RF per tick. So as soon as it starts to lose energy, these guys pump out as much as it can. So that's probably what was going on there. Let's make, before we go, a couple things. Let's do a vibrant... No, sorry. How do I want to do this? I need RF tools. I forget what they're called. We're going to make us some of these guys. Matter transmitter. Need 2 of them. Matter receivers. I don't know if I need 4 of these dialing computer things. We'll see. Can't hurt to make the 4. All right. So here's what we're going to do over here. This is where the system gets kind of strange, but still really interesting. That was name infused 0. That's interesting. Now I'm gonna put, actually let me pick these up. It's not really what I had in mind, is it? Do these require power? I don't really remember. They do. Okay. So this is what we got going on here. I'm going to pull this out of here. I don't think I need this anymore. This was creating amethyst for me. We're going to be done with that for now. And let's just pull a couple of... Oh, I made a hole. How do I make hole? Why did I make hole? 1, 2. And do I not have any more? Uh-oh. I need a few more energy conduits. I'm glad I checked because I will need them for over there as well. Just trying to be as prepared as possible. So this is going to be a matter transmitter, and then I might not need these bottom ones for now, to be honest. A matter receiver, and I'll put a dialing device. I'm trying to... I did this wrong once, and I don't want to do it again because I don't want to get stuck over there. Where are my dialing devices at? Come on, inventory tweaks. Be nice to me. All right. So let's set this. This is a receiver. Toasty base. This will be public for now. And this is a transmitter. So I'm actually going to say Toasty send. And Toasty receive. Did I just spell my own name wrong? I did. All right. And then what I want to do is, hopefully this works and I don't get stranded, is I'm actually going to go and borrow something from my potential spawner setup that I don't really need to be here right now because I'm not quite ready to do this build. Joe said he would be making a mob farm in the end for Enderman that should produce a lot of Enderman skulls and Ender pearls and things, and shouldn't really cause a lot of lag or anything. So that may be a community thing. I'm kind of hoping it is. Come on, lag. Who knows? But here's what I'd like to do. This is built and ready. How? How do I use it, I wonder? Let's go ahead and make the... We're going to do this together on camera, for sure. Dimensional manual. Perfect. All right. Machine infuser. RF Tools has a machine infuser which crafts follow. With this machine, you can inject dimensional shards into almost all other RF Tools machines. Just pick up any RF Tools machine with a wrench, put it into the machine. You can fuse up 256 shards into a single machine. Infused machines work much faster. Oh, very cool. So one particular case is the dimensional builder. A fully infused dimensional builder will create dimensions a lot faster and use less energy, but also the shield block, autocrafter, and so on will benefit from this. It's very useful to infuse your matter transmitter and matter receiver blocks, as that way they will work faster and use a lot less energy. That's awesome. That's a really cool system. All right. Dimensional builder. I've done this. Once you've created your first dimension, you need a way to get there. To do so, you have to use the RF teleportation system. At the time a dimension created, dimension builder also generates a spawn platform with a matter receiver in the middle. Oh, awesome. You need a dialing device to dial a matter transmitter to the new destination. But don't just teleport there yet. There are a few things you should worry about. Your dimensional builder is feeding power into the dimension as long as the builder is chunk loaded. Or you are near it and all is fine. So, depending on how expensive the dimension is, you can live in a non-powered dimension for a considerable time, but aware that the power is running out, you can die. That's awesome. Or else, other dimension builder copy the original realized dimension tabs. Okay. So if I put this guy in here and then build another... Actually, I should be okay with the dialing devices I have. Put a dialing device here. It crashes. Just me? Hopefully. Yep, still good. So, there we go. All right, hopefully this doesn't break if I do it again. Come on, server. There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. Okay. That was weird. So let's come into this dialing device and see. There's the titanium Highlands. So we're going to link these two things together by shift-clicking the first one into the second one and hitting dial. All right, it says the dialer's okay. Let's try it out. Please don't break it. Please don't crash the whole server and ruin it forever. That would suck. I'm very excited about this. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, it worked. I got so sad for days. Why does it look like this? Whoosh. All right, Titanium Highlands, public. Everyone can get here now. Very cool, but it is a very temporary setup. So what do we got here? We got light blue stained clay. I'm going to mark this waypoint. Let's call this RF dim portal. Let's just call this portal. What am I doing? 1. RF dim. And do that. Oh my goodness, that was awesome. But it does appear to be soul sand for as far as the eye can see. I guess one good thing from this is, unfortunately, because I did delete and then re-add this mod, all of the dungeon loot is gone. But now I can run around and find some new gen terrain and figure out, find these new chests and things, and hopefully be able to pick up some new stuff. It feels like it's working, but it also feels like it's probably still loading in. No, it's actually okay. Wow. All right, let's see if we can find a chest in this guy. Fairly cheatily, but let's do it. All right, there's the ladders. Did this whole one spawn even? Oh, we're dying. So there was an update. You can actually break these blocks now, which is awesome. Couldn't do that before. Huh. That's it, huh? Well, that sucked. Oh well. We got pigs that will never have food. I do hope that this isn't chewing up power from... How would I be able to tell how much power is left in a dimension? I bet they told me that somewhere in there. Oh well. Got some nodes here to look at. An arrow trap with a Thaumian hoe and a heart. It's very interesting. Let's see, we got some bed here, some illusionary blocks. We'll fly on over them. Ooh. And a refreshing gold staff of explosions. Hold on to that. See what we can do in this world with our explosions. Come on, ladder. There we go. And dying again, probably some poison blocks. This goes nowhere. Let's see how this guy works. Not so explosive, is it? It is apparently repairing things in my inventory. Oh, there's the explosion. You gotta hit mobs. That's really strange. That's very strange. All right, well, that is very, very cool. For some reason, though, we do have a giant soul sand dimension now. I don't know why, but it works, and that's so exciting. Ooh, what is this building? What are you from? Well, this is interesting. What is this? I wonder if this is from... It probably is. Oh, yes! A biome prairie dimlet, a bunch of unknown ones. Oh, this is fantastic. This is amazing. This is just a tech version of Mishcraft. Oh, I'm so happy. And I'm sorry if that offended somebody, but that's what it is. What do we got in this one? Liquid methylene. Lapis lazuli ore. Oh, that's awesome. And unum chichivitum. And I can mark it as been here, done that, and move on. That's amazing, guys. Oh my goodness. All right. I got a bit of work to do with these dimensions to check out some other stuff. And world gen thing, I guess. And I will be back with you guys in a few minutes to sort of wrap this up and see what else we can figure out. All right, I'll be right back, guys. Well, everybody, I wanted to see what was going to be at Bedrock. And there's really not much. It's just a giant soul sand world. And so we're going to pick up our lamp and we're going to fly back up top and we're going to call it an episode. I made a couple more dimensions, but nothing interesting really has happened with them. I mean, they were very cool, but not very productive. Not exactly. So I got to figure out what the kind of the grammar system is for RF tools and then show you a few things that I've been working on next episode. So until next time, guys, I've been Tasty. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope you enjoyed checking out RF tools with me and a couple other things and hang out here on the ResonantRise server. Hang up your lab coats on the way out. Leave me a like or subscribe if you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time. Deuces.